Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, focusing on the economy and what do we do to move ourselves further from where we are now. Professor Ogbimi, well, the country needs solutions.
Yes.
From all fronts.
Yes.
What should we be doing now?
Now, the thought process first. We should change, because the thought, once the thinking fails, the action fails. What you then do with yourself. The mental picture. Change our thinking from believing that others are coming to solve our problems by importing the structures they make. So, we must develop as a nation and establish ourselves among the League of Nations. Learning, education, and training are the source of development. We should invest our resources, lively all our resources in this, and make the structures we establish part of this learning process. Infrastructure, Nigerians should begin to maintain the ones we have done and get a national setting. So established for the educational system, it must be complemented by training of the graduates of educational institutions. This will be a major change. That solves unemployment problem immediately, because those who are unemployed that we have trained, they have a lot to offer in terms of theoretical knowledge, which when you then send to training within a short time, that's the surprise I'm talking of.
You know, not long ago, the president did say that he wanted the schools to introduce entrepreneurial studies such that they can also come in and complement what's going on out there in the system. Isn't that something we should begin to consider?
No, I laugh.
Why?
When I hear that. You see, my good friends, economists, I told you not to describe me as economist. I'm a scientist. They have been trained to memorize certain things. What they may call principles, when they have to apply them, they drop those principles. In science, you don't do that. The principles are the basis of our suggestion, what is to be done. The economy talks about what they call economy of scale. And I agree that when a large number of people work together, it goes outside mathematics. When people acquire knowledge, what happened in the Industrial Revolution? It was that people acquire knowledge, millions and millions of people. And when they then acquire knowledge, you have ability to do something, I have ability to do, millions have. There's a transformation that comes to the society. And you can liken it to what happened when the spider who spins the silk thread from his mouth converts the single silk thread, many of the silk thread, into the web. The web becomes the economy for the spider. Nature is telling us what life is. The single silk thread, the single person, does nothing. But when we all become knowledgeable and skilled, it forms a network of knowledge and skill, a problem-attacking front that deals with problems. That's what we have to build. Now, when you go to your entrepreneurship, why do I laugh? Is that you are now saying that each individual should have his establishment. I call that atomized production.
No, not necessarily that each individual must have it.
How many do you have?
If they develop their skill set, it could help in some way, as opposed to
it's not a substitute for what we are talking. We are talking of industrialization as power. I've told you how, if it's entrepreneurship, we have enough entrepreneurs. I usually laugh reason and I say, the woman who has a baby on her back and say, Era Ekbao is an entrepreneur. He is. And when you ask them, they say it's the type of entrepreneur. Which type of? I think you are looking for entrepreneur. Or the woman has bread in front of her is entrepreneur. So if we have everyone do that, this soap issue that they always do on Ibadan, you have the soap to left and right. Nobody is buying fresh water because everybody is producing soap. So we need to agglomerate that and climb in terms of knowledge and say what we have now is too little to build a society. We don't make a pin, We don't make a razor blade, even the toothpick. The machine to do it, we don't, because our steel has not developed to that level. So when you talk about that, it's for people, graduate Akara, or graduate, what now? Fish and others. That's not it. The entrepreneurship will not raise people above the poverty line. We will remain, if all of us have our establishment, we will be under the poverty line, poor people, poor nation, for as long as it is that certain, when we have not agglomerated our
It goes back to solutions.
Yes, I have given you solutions. I said, movement now, principle, I've told you. Your thinking, you solve no problem when your thinking is not correct. So our thinking should come now from, we're importing structures. We are begging people to come and build structure for us. They are going to, big generators of government is going to give us light. If we continue this way, 100 years' time, there will be no regular lights, there will be no reliable roads. But if we now say, yes, we know learning is, if America did 300 years with not the consciousness of superior arguments from research, that, I'm not saying we're going to equal America tomorrow, but we will have direction. We will be out of wood when we change to believe that we are to build the nation ourselves. And nobody helps somebody to acquire skills. That's the problem of knowledge.
But it seems as if there was an attempt in times past. You made mention of the steel industry, which we say we haven't actually scratched. Yes. We saw a couple of those industries, the Ajokuta, the DSA, Data Steel Company, and a couple of others that should have been up running.
That was not removed from technology transfer. We build the structure and it is a big structure that is the strength. No. It is knowledge owned by the individual about an issue that is the strength of a nation. So when they build those structures, they had to fail.
Because the knowledge wasn't there.
Yes. Steel is not about magic from Russia or somewhere. We know what is in science. Science, we say Fe represent iron. But nature has a way of mixing it with other things that are not. The skill will separate the Fe from the other things. And it goes through a long time of knowledge and being able to do that. But the structures we are calling, we are the big structures we call people to be for us. Those are not the structures. That does not constitute, they do not constitute the strength of a nation. The strength, the employment, that is the knowledge and skill possessed by the people, is the blood of an economy.
You know, we have some key ministries that can help revamp some of these sectors you're talking about, solid mineral and...
No, don't break it into that. I am saying that you consider an economy. When we start learning, we will learn in all areas. In all areas of it, because that's
so
what
it falls back. Everything starts with learning.
Yes, that's the change of thinking, which we must. So, and I must point this out. I say Europeans neglected education for 2,000 years. We go on strike frequently here. So you ask, why is there no strike in England and America? They did not support education about 2,000 years, but something happened about that period. They had the First, Second World War. They saw the importance of knowledge. The world would be different today if they didn't have knowledge to build the structures, the things that science. So why do you need anybody to come and tell you that you have to develop this issue? The government then nationalized the economy, all the educational system. Since then, government has been funding education. Nobody goes on strike over it. So it is that realization that brought that thing that people know. We must face knowledge. We must acquire knowledge and skills. That is the peaceful situation you have out there. Here, as colonial teachers, as some of us are, we not very strong enough yet. We just intellectual.
And academics like yourself, astounding ones, have headed the Ministry of Education. We should have seen that kind of blueprint in place. That would have leapfrogged us into proper learning.
God gives knowledge. It is not very easy for what the things people call blueprints in the past cannot go from our colonial thinking. The Westerners don't understand what they achieved. Yes, they didn't. It happened. Today they say, why did England achieve the Industrial Revolution? They say they were ready. What is the meaning of ready? They had money. That doesn't give you anything. And their theory is that they will transfer their resources to us and then we will develop. There's nothing like that in history. So anybody that you would have put there will probably come with this issue, how much we will spend, big money, loans and all that. And that's where it's interesting that many people who are of the right and left, they have the colonial thinking that money is life, life is all about money. So it remains the same. Most times they have the same solution. They just They believe how the money will be spread. In their own definition of planning, it is they talk about the money that is available is spent. But no, planning is what are we going to do? Money then comes. What do you need for this aspect of your plan? That's how money should come. But today, we rather talk of money than the thought process about what the development is. And that's where the crisis is. All you hear about is the money, 2 trillion.
Can our national planning of government or sector or unit help us in driving some of these points you highlighted?
Well, we can tell them, but that's not going to be easy. I'm not pessimistic about it, that it will be, but change is very difficult. You know, even in our churches, when you go to church, you know where Mr. J sits when you go to church. To remove him from there, even inside the church, is not a joking thing. Not to talk about where people are earning income. Some of these settings now, it will not be expensive, and many people will not even like it. It will not be expensive. Secondly, all the stories you have about corruption, you have to pay this where the money goes. Part of it is that the money, we don't know what to do with it. That's why people can see it and carry.
Because they think they know what to do with it.
No, well, the individual would think so. Why not? Since it is available, why not I carry? If his mind is so poorly developed, so they carry it. But when we know what to say, you won't even see it. When they are even talking on such this, it goes to where automatically. We have foreign reserve. Do Europeans have foreign reserves here? They don't. Because we have the mental picture of buying. So there must be money there to buy. Bring the money and let's spend it. Pay people. By the time we train the graduates with physics, chemistry, this, 3-4 years, we are talking of a different situation.
All right.
Are they ready? So that is the issue.
A very interesting one at that. Professor Francis Ogbimi, thank you very much indeed for talking to us today.
You.
Well, Prof is a development scientist from Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife. Well, that's the show today as well. And what a week it's been. Well, thank you for letting us be a part of your week. We'll be back next week. I'm Chamberlain.
It's amazing. It's Friday already. Thank you so much for staying with us throughout the week. I'm Mao Ogun.
Many thanks. I'm Slyman Alede.
But not the end of the working week.